Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little stove comparison. We've picked up a new one, which is the FIREMAPLE, as you can see here, which we'll get at in a minute, and I'm going to compare it to my OEX Heiro stove. We've only used the FIREMAPLE once, and that was when we went out for a dog walk. So we've not used it in like actual outdoor scenarios or camps or anything like that. So I have to admit, I am impressed with it. I'll go through the details of it and I'll show you how it boils and compared to the OEX Heiro. The FIREMAPLE does have a bigger capacity for water, whereas the OEX is a bit smaller. There may be a little bit in difference when it comes to boiling and time-wise and stuff like that. So without me waffling, let's get cracking. So we'll start off with my one, which if you're a regular to the channel, you'd have seen this thousands of times. So the OEX Heiro comes with a mesh bag, which over time I have adapted to fit my trusty cup and my spork. So there it is, the OEX Heiro stove. Take the lid off, and inside is my stand, which again, this is sold separately, by the way. Picked this up in Go Outdoors, but it is the OEX variety. You can just see the X in there. And then inside here as well, I've got my igniter, which you might have seen. I've not had to use this yet, but I've just bought it just in case the igniter on the actual stove packs in, because I have had it a couple of years now. On the OEX Heiro one, you have got the regulator which folds down underneath, so you just pull that out. Now with this, make sure it is turned down all the way, because obviously you have to turn it on ever so slightly to fold it under. If you take it out, screw it on and then ignite it, you'll have gas release, which you don't want. So turn it off fully, screw it into your gas canister, and then there's your igniter just there. That is my top safety tip for the OEX Heiro stove, is make sure you turn that off when you've flipped it out from underneath, because you can't pack that away unless you flip it underneath. So the OEX Heiro stove is a 0.8 litre if you fill it to the brim. You have got indicators on the inside of the pot, which is 0.2 litre, 0.4, 0.6. And then if you fill it to the brim, you will get to 0.8. On the side there, you have got handles, which you can just pull out and use that to pour, etc. Just be mindful that these can potentially get quite hot. And there's a feature on the FIREMAPLE that I prefer over this. One more thing to add with the OEX Heiro is that they have had a redesign with the OEX brand. The stove itself, I believe, is exactly the same. However, the little thermal sort of like sheath that it's in is a different colour. I'll put it up on the screen now. So with the OEX Heiro stove, like I said, just pull, when you take it out, pull the regulator out, make sure it's turned off, get your gas can. Any gas can with a screw top will be suffice for the OEX Heiro. I tend to go for the jet bowl gas cans. Put it on top, screw it in. You may get a bit of gas hissing, that's fine. Just keep screwing it on and then it will stop. So now that is on, you will get a smell of gas as well, but don't panic about that. That's just that little bit of release. But as long as your tent's got the door open and stuff like that, or if you're cooking outdoors, it's absolutely fine. So this is obviously an optional extra, you can use it. I've used it before in the past and I've not used it. It's swings and roundabouts. So now your stove's attached to the gas can. Just get your mug or cup, whatever you want to call it, pot, and then that's slipped. There's two little nibs on either side, and then you've got a little slot on each side, and then that slots in and then locks in place. So that is the OEX Heiro stove. That is not cool. Now, the FIREMAPLE. Again, comes in a mesh bag. And as you can already see, it is visibly bigger than the OEX Heiro. Very similar in style though. Obviously you've got your insulated cover, but this is the feature I like on the FIREMAPLE. So what you do, you've got your little cable here, if you can see that. Just push down on the handle and then that releases this cable which will drop. And then you just pull your handle over, that locks in place, and then that's your stove there. I so prefer that over the little handles of the OEX. So OEX, if anyone from OEX is watching, have a look at your handles and get something like this, because this, I think this is miles better. Not betraying me OEX, by the way, because that thing has served me very well and I will still continue to use it. This is the Mrs. stove for van camping stuff, so I thought I'd rob it and do a comparison. So it also comes with this nice little lid with a handle on it. The OEX, which I didn't show you, doesn't have a handle. There's a little hole, so you could make some modifications, but it hasn't got a handle on the lid, or a little pinch lid sort of thing. And this has caught me out a couple of times. I tend not to use it now really, I'll just rest it on the top and then just flick it off. But this, another brilliant little accessory to have. There is also a little steam hole there as well, so it won't overflow. Now this, again, igniter, like I've got, bought for the missus. Look after her, me. So this one actually comes with, I can't remember the name for it, but it's effectively like an O-ring attachment. So if you want to use a frying pan on it or whatever, you can just rest that on top of the stove itself and then just cook some, if you want a bit of bacon in the morning, happy days. That comes with the FIREMAPLE, like I said. With the OEX, I did have it, where is it? There it is. The OEX one, you can see that there on that screen, that's a bit better. I had to buy that separately. I won't be using the O-rings, but I'll just put them up against this screen as a sort of size comparison. So this is the OEX one, this is the FIREMAPLE, so you can see the difference. Obviously the stove is bigger on the FIREMAPLE. But yeah, I won't be testing them today. I mean, if you've got O-rings at home, you'll know how they work anyway, so there's not much that I can show you, to be fair. Also with the FIREMAPLE comes the stand, nice little green one. Like I said, that again comes with the FIREMAPLE. We bought this FIREMAPLE, or sorry, I should say that my missus bought this FIREMAPLE on Amazon. This is the FIREMAPLE stove. It is twice the size of the OEX Heiro, obviously, but the same rule applies. So you'll flick that out, make sure it's turned off, and then screw it onto your gas can. But yeah, just please make sure that's turned off. So you'll flick it like that when you finish with it, you'll drop it in your pot. When you come to use it again, take it out, lift that out, make sure it's turned off, then put it on. But yeah, that's the FIREMAPLE stove. Doing this comparison, it's just organised chaos here. So with the FIREMAPLE stove, it is another screw top. So again, any screw top gas canisters can work. Should also point out, by the way, that you won't get gas hissing on every stove. So like then I just put that on. There was no gas hissing, whereas the OEX one there was. It's not a design fault or anything like that, it's just the way it is. With the FIREMAPLE pot, again, it has got your little slots there on either side. So when you put it in, the little divots on the stove, when you put it in the little divots on the stove, it just locks in place. There you go, happy days. FIREMAPLE can hold over a litre's worth of water. The litre mark is about here, but obviously you can get a bit more in, but I wouldn't advise it because just in case it overflows when it's boiling. So yeah, it is a substantially bigger stove than the OEX, which as you can see there. And then if I show you that, that's probably the best comparison, to be honest. You know, the stove itself is massive compared to the OEX one. I don't know why the more I think about it, these green bits, they just seem a bit excessive. I don't know why they have to be that big, but hey ho, each to their own. My trusty mug. I'm going to put 2 cups worth in each pot, and then we'll time how long it takes for them to get to the boil. So we'll do the fire maple first. 1, 2. Right, so let's get this going. Where's the igniter? See, even I'm still learning about this one. So there's one thing I've not shown you. So with the OEX, you've got your regulator and your igniter on the same side, whereas the fire maple, you've got your regulator there and then your igniter there, which is a bit annoying, but there you go. Again, that's just the way they designed theirs. So, right, so I'll ignite this and then I'll hit the start button on my watch quick. The one thing I will say about the fire maple is that it is quite loud. Right, seeing a lot of steamage. Yeah, I'd say that's boiled, so we're on 2 minutes 3 seconds. So that was 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So now I'll put 2 cups full of water in the OEX Heiro. We'll pop the lid on for good measure. Where's my, there it is. All right, again, I'll ignite it first and then start the clock. There we go, she's at the boil, 2 minutes 8 seconds. Well, only a matter of seconds in it, but that was 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Yeah, obviously there is a clear winner, the fire maple, but either way, they're on, let's say, on average, they're on a par. So I'm quite surprised. I genuinely thought that was rapid. I mean, it is rapid. It's only 2 minutes to bring to the boil, isn't it? But I suppose when you're out wild camping and you're admiring the view and stuff like that, you don't really take notice of time. So when you put that on for a boil, before you know it, it's boiling. So you think it's just poof, done. When you time it, you think to yourself, you know. But still, so yeah, there you have it. That's the times. So I'm going to make a brew with the one that won. I'm hoping my Heiro don't take it personally, but because that has been my ever faithful stove. It has never ever, touch wood, it's never ever failed on me. Winter camps, whatever you name it, it's never ever failed on me. You can't do a stove comparison video without making a brew. It's just, it's unheard of. See, that for me is the biggest selling point for me. This handle is absolutely fantastic. I wish that had that handle, because that don't get hot or anything. That tends to get quite hot sometimes. Just like this cup. Ow, that's hot. So just run through a bit of bits of kit that I've got. Obviously these cups you can pick up from anywhere on Amazon. This is my Wild Peak Spork, which you've probably seen on other wild camping trips that I've done. Obviously you've got the spoon end, fork end, and then you've got a little serrated area there for a knife. So, cheers. Nice bit of slurpy slurp there. Right, so while I'm enjoying this brew, we'll have a pause in the old comparison videos. I did see a dog running this way a second ago. I don't know where they've gone, but either way. Now, first things first, I apologise at the minute. Obviously, there's not a lot of actual outdoor content. I think the last thing you saw was the Wigan Way. I've not been on a wild camp since Cow Hill, which is absolutely killing me at the minute. Now, the reason behind that is, obviously we've had the van conversion, so we've been spending time doing that. And we've been trying to get out at the same time sort of thing, so she can get out in her van, try that out for the first time, and then I'll get a wild camp in. Now, June, there's no excuse for June. The Cow Hill wild camp was in May. June, we just had a really dry month. We just didn't do anything. This month, it's been hit and miss. We've been trying to get out, but things have just been getting in our way. Like this week, unfortunately, the dog's in heat, so we've not been able to get out. Obviously, we've had the heat waves, which has prevented us getting out because obviously we don't want to take the dog out in that either. So yeah, it's been tough to try and get out, which is, I sound like I'm making pathetic excuses, but you know, if you've got a dog in the middle of a heat wave, you'll get the gist of it. And if you've got a dog that's not been neutered yet, which we are planning on doing, don't get me wrong, you know, it is hard work. You can't really take them anywhere. Please do bear with me. I will be getting out very soon, and there will be videos coming back onto the channel of wild camping and hikes and stuff like that. I've got a lot, and I mean a lot, lined up, which will see me through the rest of this year and into the next year, and probably even further, to be fair. So yeah, please stay tuned. There is a lot to come. There will be videos like this and the van conversion and stuff like that, because my channel is all inclusive. It's not, you know, just wild camping and stuff like that. You know, that's nothing against wild camping videos, but wild camping channels. But my own personal opinion, I feel like if you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, as much as the places and the views change, you're effectively kind of doing the same video over and over again, if that makes sense. And as much as I am a fan of several channels that do that, and they are very good channels, don't get me wrong, I don't want my channel to be like that, if that makes sense. I'm trying to make it sound like I'm not moaning and dissing other channels, but I'm just trying to explain what my channel is about. So if I don't do wild camping videos or hiking videos for the next couple of videos on the channel, it is what it is. You know, this is my channel, this is how I'm going to do it. It will be orientated around outdoor stuff, whether it's the van conversion or kit like this, but it won't always be wild camping, hiking, etc. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head. So I'm out in my beautiful local woodland. If you've not seen a video I did on it back in winter, it is this video here. Get yourself on the channel, give it a watch. This woodland is absolutely fascinating. It's got so much history with it. It is beautiful no matter what season you're in. So yeah, I am determined to get a camping area at some point, whether it be hammock camp or stealth camp or something. I've just never found a decent spot. I do need to come in here and do an actual recce, I think. Right, I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to finish this brew, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the stoves. So with these stoves, the weight comparison, I'd say I'll put all the details of each stove in the description. So if you want an exact number, then head on to the description and have a look. But I would say, personally, I'd say they're about on par, to be honest. I think, if anything, the OEX actually feels a smidgen bit heavier. The FIREMAPLE actually feels quite light, which is quite surprising considering the size of the actual stove itself. But yeah, the OEX, to me, feels a little bit heavier than the FIREMAPLE, which is a bit strange. So yeah, I will be putting the descriptions of each stove in the description of the video, and that'll have all the details, weight, pot size, you know, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, all there is left to say now is, if you've got this far, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, the thumbs up one, hit the bell so you get notified when I make these videos. And I promise you I will be out on an actual wild camp or a hike very, very soon. So keep an eye out on the channel, stick with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys.